I thought where better to start than Miguel O'Hara or Spider-Man 2099, who looks like he's going to be a bit of an antagonist in Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes, he does.
So his first appearance was in Amazing Spider-Man number 365 in June 92. As a bit of like a kind of reference thing that then led to him getting his own series.
Oh, okay.
So Miguel O'Hara is from Earth 928. I believe in current continuity he is displaced on Earth 616 after incursions and stuff. But his original Earth is Earth 928.
Okay.
He is an engineer of Irish and Mexican descent.
Interesting.
As an adult, he worked for Alchemax in Nueva York, which is 2099's equivalent of New York, I believe. So he worked for Alchemax, and he was a little bit put off by this company because they seemed to have a lot of power over the city, which he wasn't too fond of. But he was brilliant geneticist, so he worked there. But while he was there, he was put under pressure by his boss, Tyler Stone, who also, although Miguel didn't know this at the time, was his father, to test a process Miguel had created for genetic imprinting, which, if done right, could give people segments of DNA from animals, or even other humans, potentially. And his boss, Tyler Stone, put pressure on him to move this on to human testing. Miguel reluctantly agreed, and this led to the death of the subject. He got turned into a horrible creature and died. And this actually happening, as well as Miguel's insistence not to do it and then being forced to do it, left him naturally very upset.
Yeah.
And he walked into his boss's office and handed in his resignation. Stone then offered him a drink, to which Miguel politely accepted, not knowing that Stone had drugged the drink with a highly addictive hallucinogenic drug that also bound to the user's DNA so that they'd be guaranteed to be dependent on it.
What the
And this drug was only manufactured by Alchemax. So by doing that, he was kind of forced to stay there, was Stone's master plan. So to try and rid himself of this addiction, Miguel tried to use the process on himself. Because when he was developing the process, he used his own genetics for a baseline.
Right.
So he kind of viewed it as like, oh, I can like reboot my DNA. And go back to my DNA before this drug was attached to it.
Backup save.
Yeah, exactly. Big brain. However, this was sabotaged by his co-worker, Aaron Delgato. And in an attempt to kill him, he put spider DNA in there.
Okay.
But it didn't kill Miguel. Instead, it successfully spliced the spider DNA into Miguel, giving him powers and ridding him of his addiction.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, when Delgato saw what physical mutations had taken place for Miguel, including talons that kind of come out of his arms and stuff, he started shooting at him, thinking that this savage beast was about to rip him to pieces. And he kind of tripped and fell out of a window. Miguel tried to save him and grabbed him, but then the talons like extended and stabbed into Aaron a bit, which caused him to fall and die. No, not fall and get badly hurt. And then after kind of this initial arc where it was him trying to hide who he was, he got helped out by the Church of Thor, and stuff like this. He realized that actually Alchemax didn't know that he was this new Spider-Man. So he kind of took his job back so that they didn't realize he'd been successful.
Okay.
He also had a so he's got his job back, and then he has a bit of an incident where he gets kidnapped by Vulture 2099,
Okay.
who happens to be a cannibal.
Ooh.
Yes. And it's at this time that Miguel realizes that Nueva York needs him both as Spider-Man to help deal with people like the Vulture, but also as Miguel O'Hara to be this kind of double agent inside Alchemax to kind of control them and stop them ruining the city.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of motivations of Spider-Man 2099. He's a lot darker than Peter Parker. He's a lot angrier. He's a fair bit more brutal, but he kind of just matches the time. He's kind of like a
Yeah.
cyberpunk take on Spider-Man. He's in this ultra futuristic city where big
Corporation,
corporations have
yeah.
taken over everything, so you just have to be a bit more brutal to survive. And he's not as quippy.
Interesting.
So he will be a formidable antagonist for Miles, I'm sure. And it'd be really cool to see Oscar Isaac get a proper run at him for an extended period of time.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Anyway,